will graduate with a BSc in HR or a BBA in HR. I don't know which in particular is used for illicit. Okay, it's BSc. Where I'm from, it's a BBA because I schooled in Ghana, JE University College, affiliated with University of Winnipeg. And a lot of you will struggle with getting jobs, not because you're not smart enough, but because the program is, I mean, the real world is cutthroat. You have to be exceptionally good. You have to be great at what you do. Your degree is not enough. Should I? Thank you. Okay, but can everyone hear me? Okay. Yeah, I think I tried to without the mic. Okay. So the industry is really cutthroat. This morning, I saw a tweet that Meta is cutting off about 8,000 workers because of AI. Just this morning, I saw that tweet. Just imagine, and you think your degree is enough for you to come out of school and get a good job for yourself? Absolutely not. So what are you doing to make yourself better? What are you doing to be the best of the best? What are you doing to be the 1% of the 1%? When I heard that this program was happening, I was thrilled. I wish I had this opportunity when I was in school. I mean, throughout my 4 years in uni, I don't think there was any program like this for any professional to come and address us about what the real workplace is actually like. Because believe me, it's totally different from what you're learning in school. And when I was in uni, I also thought once I know about the Abraham Maslow theory, I mean, I've faced everything, but it's totally different. You meet different types of people, your personality will speak for you, your skills will speak for you, and your character, whether you like it or not. It all comes down to who you are. No one is like you. You are your own self. So the topic, bridging the gap between academic theory and industry expectations for HR graduates. I didn't prepare a slides. I'm sorry. I was not aware that we're presenting any slides, but I can deliver the slides to you much later. I just printed out some things I'm going to go through. So you can just listen to me. Most of these are going to be practical because at the end of the day, I'm sure you've studied a lot of books, and you need to hear what is really, really happening out there. So, what is academic theory? They are the HR models that you know about, the structured learning, you pass your exams and grades, right? But that is not all. You can be good academically, and when you get out there to the real world, you realize that you are nothing. Not because you are not smart enough, like I said earlier, but because it's cutthroat out there. And then in school, you are taught to, learn all these theories and structures and principles. But when you get out there, the important thing is simplified version of reality. How good are you? Can you deliver? Can you undo conflicts and diversion? Can you communicate well? Do you have the necessary skills? Your employer just wants you to deliver. Nobody actually cares about if you come out with a 2-1 or a 2-2 or a first class graduate or a third class graduate. You'll be surprised that a lot of people that transition to HR today, you're lucky to be studying human resource as a course, but there are a lot of people right now out there that did not even study human resource as a course. They studied science courses and they transitioned into HR. So it's not really about if you have a 2-1 when you come out of school. Don't get me wrong, it's very good to have good grades. I mean, you should definitely work towards that because it has its own advantages. But the main thing is like comes down to your experience, your skill, and who you are, what you can do. So, how many of us here are familiar with Power BI, Excel, SQL, and all that? So, when I was in school, I don't think I ever did any assignments with Excel. I mean, I'm talking about 2014 ish. So I don't think I ever had any assignments with Excel. The only thing I know we did very well was presentation, which you use like PowerPoint to present. So getting to the real world, you realize that your boss is asking you to give you data on, recruitment, the challenges we're having in your department, and you have to make use of all these applications. I mean, I had to learn on YouTube. There's a guy called Alex the Analyst. You can look him up if you're looking to transition into data. Believe me, as human resource professionals, you cannot escape data. You are going to meet data everywhere you go. And it gives you an upper edge because now we also have job roles that are called HR analytics. Before, there was nothing like that. So now we have HR analysts, and they are earning more than the typical recruitment HR. So, do you want to earn more money in HR? It is very possible. You just have to be the best of the best. Again, data, we are transitioning into the AI world, and data is very necessary. So if you've not started learning all these Excel, Power BI, and the likes, the best time was yesterday, and the best time again is like now. So you can literally start like today because it's also one of the things that employers are looking at. I mean, AI is coming is a big thing now, and is going nowhere. So if you don't embrace it, you fizzle out. Then you not earn more money in the job market. You probably end up doing the HR that does recruitment. No shades to HR that does recruitment. It's not that they are not like good at what they do. They also deal with data as well. But believe me, we now have technologies that can help you recruit. We now have ATS systems. So if we come to Lee City now that we want to hear from maybe everyone in your department, apply for a role, I don't need to be the one to sit down there to check if Shola is good, if this person is good. We just put in some keywords and then we run it through the ATS system. If you're lucky and your CV is up to date and has like those ATS words, you will be picked. But if you're not, you won't. So that's just the way it is. Um, the industry expectation, like I said, the industry expects you to adapt, solve problems, communicate, decision making under pressure, business awareness, and all of that. We now have HRBPs as well. I don't think, if correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think back then we had anything like HRBPs, human resource business partners. You can look them up and see their roles and what they do exactly. So in my organization, I work directly with the HRBP of our organization. I'm not allowed to disclose names. So that's why I left it behind in my citation. So I work directly with the HRBP, and I can tell you for a fact that there's no meeting that holds in that organization that is not in it. He's one of the prominent C-suite official in the organization. There is no meeting without him. Literally, he has to be present. So again, in the workplace, nobody asks you to define Maslow theory. All those things you're learning is just true and poor for when you're here in school. Yeah, but that's why I always advise that you can get case studies from companies. I don't know if some companies actually give out their case studies for free, or if you know somebody that knows somebody, you can get case studies and try to keep yourself abreast of what is actually going on in the real world. Because trust me, there are 1001 different types of scenarios that you hear and be surprised about the outcome and the results. So the gap between academic theory and sorry, am I going too fast? Okay. Sorry, I think I talk very fast. So the gap between academic theory and industry expectation again is the theories, the exam, the individual work, and the predictable. So this is majorly directed to those of you that like to say, oh, I don't work with a team. I don't work well with a team. I like to do my own thing by myself. I'm an independent person of my own. That's not going to help you because eventually we'll find out in the organization that you're not a team player and we'll have to let you go. It might not be the exact thing that will be on your resignation letter or your termination letter. It will be another English, well constructed, very polite, so that you will not sue us. But at the end of the day, I mean, that's probably the main reason why you were let go. So please try to be a team player, try to work together, learn to work together with people, and don't take these opportunities that you have for granted. You never know who the next person is going to be. Maybe she's going to be the next minister in Nigeria, or maybe it's going to be the next president of Nigeria. So let me tell you a backstory. When I was in CIPM, I think I registered in 2022, thereabout. I wanted to do my master's at that then, but I could not afford it. I mean, my dad is late, so I stopped at BSc with my education with him. Though we had other plans, but life happens. So I said, I can't afford to do a master's right now. Let me just go for CIPM that I know that I can pay small, small. So I applied for CIPM. And while I was there, I wanted a physical class. I didn't want to be studying alone online. So I went to their office in Dubai and they connected me to somebody that used to host a class. So in my class, one of my facilitators is the person I'm working with right now. So I say that to say that wherever you are, always speak up, try to make an impact, because if I was not talking in my class and I was just, the girl that would just come there, sit down, listen to what everybody is saying, "Oh, okay, okay, thank you, bye bye, bye bye," and I leave, I don't think I would have gotten this opportunity. So from him mentoring me and facilitating my courses, even after he was no longer facilitating for my class, we were still in communication. So now, before I got the HR role, because believe me when I tell you that we all had plans. When I was in uni, I just wanted to work with a multinational company. And my mom is a typical career woman. There's nothing you can tell her that you want to do business. Are you kidding? You want to do business? You want to be selling shoe and be no, like she will not allow that. Literally. So I'm like, when I finished uni, because I was an international student, I had to wait a whole 1 year before I could go for my NYSC service, because they wanted my original transcript, my original certificates before you can do NYSC. There I was, sitting duck. I mean, I had my internship with Globacom, which is a multinational company. You would think that that would give me an edge, right? So that when I finish, I'll just get a job with Globacom. I even worked with them in my 400 level when I was in Ghana. After my internship here in Nigeria, I went to back to school and I worked with them for about 1 year. My whole 400 level was a part time. I was working with them because I know that when I'm done with school, I'm going to need experience. Definitely going to need experience. Nobody wants to hire like a beginner anymore. So there has to be something. Something has to give. Let me use your Gen Z language. Something has to give. So I knew that something had to give, and I mean, so I was doing that, but I was in customer service. When I finished my school and I reached out to the HR as at then, it was a different ball game. I don't want to say what exactly happened, but it was something I could not do. It was a difficult situation for me, and I had to leave. Now, fast forward to when I came back at my NYSC. Before my NYSC, those 1 year I was waiting. I was not just sitting at home because I'm the kind of person that does not like to stay in one place or like doing nothing. I don't like to stay idle. So I applied to Alliance Française. It's a French school. They teach you how to speak French. I mean, I already had a French background from Ghana. It's a compulsory course for 2 years. So I'm like, instead of just sitting there doing nothing, I went to Alliance Française for about a year. So when I was there, I started my business. I got the idea to start my cleaning and pest control business. So it happens like that. And you can seek mentorship. You can even message people on LinkedIn if they are in your like job role, like your field. I mean, you want to be, there are so many HRs on LinkedIn. You can message anybody. They could be white, they could be anybody, any race. They will respond. If your message can definitely drop, they will definitely respond. Good afternoon, my name is so. Be very polite and professional. I would like you to be my mentor. If they have the capacity or the time to do that, they will respond to you. They'll say yes. What and what would you need? Now, you don't beg your mentors for money. Oh. No, it's not like that though. Don't go there and say, I'm even broke right now. No, you have to keep things. No, seriously, I'm telling you, like people do that. They make that mistake. Sorry, excuse me. You don't go there to take advantage of their time. Because for anybody, for me to be here today, I had to take like permission at work. So don't take things for granted. Don't, because the person has now agreed to be your mentor, just one or two classes or like sessions with them. You're already saying you are broke right now or you're short on your school fees. Like what's their business with that? Try to keep things professional. If not, your next call, you just see that they are not available for you again. And maybe they were already even observing you, trying to like, oh, maybe this person, when they are done with school, I might just employ them as my assistant. It could start like that, from assistant to officer to, just like that. So please, opportunities come but once, and don't squander it. Make good use of your opportunities. Then take initiatives. Job shadow. I used to job shadow a lot when I was in um CIPM. That my facilitator used to do recruitment a lot as well. I said there's no there's no meeting that happens in the organization without him. So sometimes I can just sit here, he will sit here, and I'll be observing. Like even after the interviews, like he will just ask you, like, which one of them do you think is okay? Then you say, this one he spoke well. This one he speaks good grammar, but I'm not sure he will deliver. Oh. This one, we just interact like that because at the end of the day, that's what happens after every session. Even in organization where you have panels and some interviews, you get there and there are like 4 or 5 people. The table is this long, and this person is head of so throwing questions. This one is throwing questions at you. After when you leave, they say, "What do you think? That one dressed well. Oh. I like the way she's very articulated. She speaks well. She's confident. Confidence alone can even get you the job. Is enough to get you the job, especially if it actually deals with a job where you have to interact with people every time. They'll say, oh, this one is very confident, and they'll just train you where you're lacking and package you, and you're good to go. So please, job shadow, request for it. Nobody will call you to come and job shadow demo. You can request for it, ma. If you are having an interview, can you please call me? Like, I would like to just be there and see what it's like. So it will even help you when you are going for your own interview. There was a time I wanted to go for an interview somewhere in Ibadan. Yeah, I will not mention the organization. And my facilitator over prepped me. When I got there, I was asking for things that they don't even have in the organization. Eventually, I did not get the job. Even me, after the interview, I'm like, I think you did too much. Like when I got back, I had to tell him, I said, Omo, as I was asking the questions, they would just look at each other, they would just be like, this one I ain't go come be our organ for a year. Oh. Me we no employer. So I really felt like I outdid myself, like with the interview. So I didn't get the job. Obviously, I was not even expecting them to call me. Sometimes from how the interview goes, you can actually tell if they will call you or not. So, I mean, it is what it is. So you can request to job shadow. It's also help you, like if you're doing anything like maybe recruitment, learning and development. When there's a training in any organization, you can ask to be there. You can ask to assist the L&D manager. Like, sir, would you need any help? Be open to volunteer. I noticed that a lot of I'm going home, Jerry. I don't want to stress. You don't want to stress. Oh yeah, now. Opportunities just be flying in your face. Then when you now see that they take somebody as maybe one thing, you just say, am I not better than that person? They should have taken me too. You now be jealous. But when the person was open to volunteering, like, oh ma, would you need, you were not open. You were saying, I'm going home, I beg, what are they doing? It looks like it's nothing, but it is everything. So be open to volunteer. In fact, be quick to don't let them ask you first. Like, oh man, would you need this? Would you need that? Oh, if you're doing this, can I be there as well? Even when you're learning a trade, is that not how you learn? Don't we? It's just like yes, apprenticeship. Like you go somewhere to pay for a training or to be a tailor or whatever. It's not when your boss is cutting the clothes, you'll be there looking at it. That's just the way it is. So just that this one is in the corporate world. So please be able to be open to volunteering, then attend conferences, read case studies. I mentioned that earlier, and stay curious. There is a lot going on that we don't know about. So be curious, ask questions, ask questions, be curious because there is a lot. In fact, I can't even touch on half of the things that goes on in my organization if we start to talk now. And even aside from my organization, I mean, there are thousands of organizations out there. You hear that, oh, this one is happening here. So that's why we have HR groups, right? different people, they just come to the platform. Oh, this and this and this happened. How do you think we should do it? Should we do it like this? People bring their case studies to the platform, and then we read it. Everybody comments. Do this. I think you should do this. In my own organization, we did it like this. We handled it like this. Okay, my own organization is not allowed to do this. So that's how we learn as well. So that's why sometimes you see when I just come up with a story, it might not even be from my organization. So it could be from another organization. But because I was probably there, because I also attend conferences and where there are facilitators and all that. So it might be somebody's story that I heard, and I'll also use it in my own session too, which is fine, right? So stay curious. A lot is going on. Be intentional about your growth. The students who succeed are not the smartest, they are the most intentional. How bad do you want it? How hungry are you for it? How hungry are you? Or you just want to, because believe me, they are just some regular HRs. We don't know them. They are not thriving, they are just there. No shade, but it is what it is. And even when you're already in the system, if you don't continue to upgrade yourself, you will fizzle out. Even me, I came to Lee City to do my master's. I'm a master's student too. Because every time I go for an interview, even if I have 100 certifications, the first thing they ask me, what's your highest qualification? And I end up saying BBA. Or I have a BBA in it. They don't want to know the rest. Sometimes, yes, they don't want to know what's your highest qualification. So do you know the flex to say, oh, I'm a doctor in human resource? There was a CV I looked through one time and we're recruiting, and the person wrote there, I'm a double master's degree holder. And I told my friend, gang, gang, because no, like, come on. I mean, double master's degree. I'm like, such a flex, right? But I mean, there is you. I BBA, BSc holder, and you've left school 20 years ago. You did not plan to do masters, do PhD, that one no dey your agenda, but you want um equal pay with people that have better qualifications. It does not work like that. There's no magic to these things. So how intentional are you? How bad do you want it? If you want it real bad, then you apply all of these things that I'm telling you, because trust me, again, out there is cutthroat too. You have to be really, really good at what you do for you to get good pays and be relevant. So we have different opportunities in HR. The opportunities in HR are actually endless. And we have like sub departments in HR departments, right? We still have like sub departments under HR. So you can't do everything. There are some people that do recruitment and selection. Some people they do learning and development, compensation, payroll, yes, performance management, HSC, and the likes. So inside all of these sub departments, if you think that your niche is learning and development, you enjoy teaching people things, you're very good at teaching people things, why not just like dive into like that? But when I started as a generalist because I didn't even know what I wanted to do, honestly. I just wanted to touch like a little bit of everything to see. But if I knew then, I would have just gone for payroll. You see those payroll guys, they're very good with mathematics. So if you know that you're very good with mathematics and you're good with Excel as well, again, you can see how AI is coming in. If you're good with Excel, see that my facilitator that I talked about. If he drops a slide like this, everybody in the organization used to be like, "Mm-mm." Like you will understand because he will break it down. There will be graph, there will be diagram, like the way he will package the whole thing. He's very good at that. So if you know that your strength is compensation and benefits, lean towards that. Be very, very good at it. Be very good at it. I have a friend in CIPM. She's very good with labor law. If you wake her up in the morning, like in the midnight, so person, what is kiniko section kiniko? She will tell you. She's very, very good with that. Even on the group, like she's quick to when you guys are talking and you're still painting scenarios, she will just quote something under the something something section, something of something. This is it. And everybody be like, the law says that. So what you think sometimes might not really be this thing. The law says that, and that's how we just apply that and we'll do it. So if you know you are good at that, why not stick to employee relations, labor relations, conflict management is under all of that. So then there are more opportunities now than ever if you position yourself very well. Again, positioning. If you position yourself very well, there are endless opportunities. You cannot be valuable if you are not memorable. So anywhere you find yourself, always try to make impact. Everywhere you go, try to make impact. Let them know you. I mean, in a good way, not the pick me type of way. Do you understand? In a good way, try to make impact. Um, then I have a closing remark that I wrote down. Don't know if we are almost there yet. So before we get to that, let me just share a little bit about my journey. Um, I think you should also learn your strength and weakness. So one of my weaknesses, sometimes I talk out of context. I can be gisting with you guys for 2 hours, 3 hours, if you allow me, like literally. So, but like, I tend to write down my points so that I don't go off book. So one of the mistake I made as an entrepreneur and a HR manager, I mean, I can say that I've experienced a lot. In my organization, I'm the pepper, I'm the salt. It's still a small business, though I have staff now. I mean, it's better than when I started. But when I started, I made a lot of mistakes growing the business, underpricing, just collecting any clients because I just want to make money. I just want to work. So I don't do my visibility study on the customer or try to observe our conversation. I just accept any client. And sometimes they end up giving me headache. The transaction doesn't go well. Some will even go with my money. So while running the business, I was able to learn a lot of things like service agreements. Oh, you can't just agree to do a contract verbally. Why don't you have a service agreement? I will do this, I will do that. I will not be doing this, I will not be doing that. If this should occur in 24 hours, we'll rectify this, we'll rectify that. So a lot of that. Then in my HR career path, one of the mistakes I made was not learning the HR tools early. I don't know much about other organizations, but in our organizations, we have HRS systems that we also use to make everything smooth, like Bamboo, Maxillary, and all that. I didn't learn that quickly. I had to learn on the job. So again, when they are employing you, knowing that you don't know these things, and they are willing to teach you, how fast can you adapt? Now that's where your smartness comes in. That's where your grades, maybe your grades in school, like how good you are, that's where it comes in. Because some people, you teach them something, 1 month, you are still teaching them. The truth is, they don't have 1 month to onboard you. Which organization wants to use 1 month to onboard? Who and who is doing that? Because onboarding costs money. It costs money, it costs time. So who wants to use 1 month to onboard? So how fast are you? Then if they are teaching you something, do you go back home to practice? Do you have a friend that already knows about it that you can go and ask? Again, self development. So don't wait until they will teach me everything. Because they won't. Even the person probably training you, they are not onboarding only you. They're probably onboarding like 20 students. So I'll come and spend 1 hour with you. Will I do that? Once they just display the whole thing on the this thing, like do this, go home and go and practice. Because who knows, maybe the next um task they will give you, you may need to apply one of the things that you learned. So that is that. And then